Welcome, gentlemen, to the Senior Wise Journey as we navigate the rich, complex chapters of life beyond state. Our bodies start whispering to us. Sometimes they shout. One of the most common yet least discussed conversations is about our prostate health. It's a quiet concern that affects our sleep, our comfort, and our peace of mind. But what if I told you that some of the biggest threats to your prostate health aren't from some exotic disease, but from simple, everyday habits happening right inside your own bathroom? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 3 of them. Part 1. The tyranny of the ticking clock. Why rushing the restroom is hurting you. Let's be honest. For most of our lives, efficiency has been the name of the game. We were taught to be quick, decisive, and to move on to the next task. From the factory floor to the corporate boardroom, time was money. We've carried that mindset everywhere, even into the most private of spaces, the bathroom. The 20-second pit stop has become a point of pride for many men. In and out, no fuss. But here's the uncomfortable truth, my friends. This lifelong habit of speed is now working against us. Think of your bladder as a diligent, hard-working employee who, after decades of service, needs a little more time to complete his tasks properly. When we were younger, the bladder had the youthful vigor to empty itself almost instantly. The muscles were strong, the signals were clear. But as we age, things change. The prostate, which sits just below the bladder, naturally enlarges. This can gently squeeze the urethra, making the pathway for urine a bit narrower. It's a normal part of aging, but it means the bladder has to work a little harder to push urine out. When you rush the process, you're essentially telling that hard-working employee, "I don't have time for you to finish." You stand up and walk away thinking the job is done, but it isn't. A small amount of residual urine is often left behind. It might not seem like much, but imagine this happening multiple times a day, every day for years. This leftover urine becomes a persistent irritant. It can lead to a low-grade, chronic inflammation of the bladder lining and, by extension, the prostate itself. It creates a state of consistent pressure and stress in a very sensitive area. This is where we need to introduce a new concept, a simple yet profoundly effective technique I call the protective pause. It's the art of waiting just a little bit longer. After you think you're finished, don't immediately zip up and leave. Just stand there, be patient, count to 15. Breathe. What you'll often discover is what I call the second wave. Your bladder, given that extra moment of calm, will give another gentle contraction and release a little more urine. This isn't a sign of a problem. It's the sign of a solution. It's your body's way of saying, "Thank you for the extra time. I needed that." By practicing the protective pause, you are ensuring your bladder empties as completely as possible. This reduces that chronic irritation, lowers the internal pressure, and gives your prostate a much-needed break. It's a mindful act of self-care that costs nothing but a few seconds of your time. Over the weeks and months, this small change can lead to remarkable improvements. You might notice less urgency, a calmer bladder, and a reduction in that nagging feeling that you have to go again just minutes after you've already been. You are retraining your body and your mind, shifting from a mindset of haste to one of health. It's a simple, powerful step on your Senior Wise journey to better well-being. So, the next time you're in the restroom, remember to take that pause. It's a pause that protects. Part 2. The unspoken strain. Protecting your prostate from unnecessary pressure. Now, let's move on to a topic that's even more taboo than prostate health: our bowel habits. It's not exactly dinner table conversation, but the connection between constipation, straining, and your prostate is so direct that we simply cannot afford to ignore it. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle for long-term life health after 60s. Anatomy gives us the clearest picture here. Your prostate gland is located in a very crowded neighborhood. It sits directly in front of the rectum. They are next-door neighbors, separated by only a thin wall of tissue. Now imagine what happens when you're constipated and have to strain to have a bowel movement. You're bearing down, creating immense internal pressure. That force isn't just directed downwards, it's also directed forwards, pushing directly onto your prostate gland. Doing this occasionally is one thing, but if constipation is a frequent issue, you are repeatedly subjecting your prostate to this physical stress day after day. It's like a gentle but persistent punch. This repetitive strain does two very damaging things. First, it directly irritates the prostate gland, contributing to inflammation. Second, it tenses the entire network of muscles in your pelvic floor. These muscles are crucial for both urinary and bowel control, and when they are chronically tensed, they can restrict blood flow to the entire area, further worsening inflammation and prostate symptoms. So, how do we declare peace with our next-door neighbor? The solution is twofold: strategy and diet. First, the strategy. It begins with listening to your body. When you feel the urge to go. Don't put it off because you're in the middle of a TV show or a project. Delaying is one of the primary causes of constipation. When you are there, the golden rule is never strain. The process should be gentle. If it's not, you need to adjust your position. Here's a piece of elderly wisdom that has been a game changer for countless men. Get a small footstool. A squatty potty is a popular brand, but any small stool will do, and place it in front of your toilet. By elevating your feet, you change the angle of your hips and colon, mimicking a more natural squatting position. This straightens the pathway and allows for a much smoother, easier process with far less pressure on your prostate. Second, the diet. The best defense is a good offense. Start your day with a breakfast rich in fiber. A bowl of oatmeal with a tablespoon of ground flaxseed is fantastic. A few prunes or a psyllium husk supplement stirred into water can also work wonders. The goal is consistency. This isn't about a fad diet. It's about building a simple, sustainable morning routine that keeps you regular. This simple dietary habit is one of the most effective senior health tips you can implement, ensuring that you never have to put your prostate under that unnecessary, damaging pressure again. Part 2 is the nightly standoff. Why sitting down is the smartest move you can make. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. This last habit might be the most ingrained, the one most tied to our masculine identity since we were boys. It's the habit of standing up to urinate, especially at night. And that I'm going to make a bold statement. For men over 60, stubbornly standing to pee after 9 p.m. is one of the worst things you can do for your prostate health. For many of us, sitting down to pee feels, well, wrong. It's something we've simply never done. But it's time to let go of old ego and embrace the smart science. Here's what happens at night. Your body is tired. Your muscles, including the intricate ones in your pelvic floor, are not as responsive. Your balance might be slightly off. When you get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, you're often in a groggy, half-asleep state. Standing in this state almost guarantees you'll rush. You're not fully awake, and your primary goal is to get back to bed as quickly as possible. This leads directly back to our first problem: not fully emptying the bladder. That residual urine then sits in your bladder for hours while you sleep, creating the perfect environment for irritation and putting sustained pressure on your prostate all night long. Is it any wonder so many of us are up 2, 3, or even 4 times a night? This is where a simple, revolutionary act comes in. Sit down. By sitting down to urinate, especially for that last trip before bed, and any trips during the night, you change everything. The act of sitting down allows your pelvic floor muscles to fully relax. Think about it. When you're standing, your leg, core, and pelvic muscles are all engaged to keep you balanced. When you sit, they can all let go. This relaxation is the key. It opens everything up and allows your bladder to empty completely and effortlessly, without any need for pushing or rushing. This single change can have a cascade of positive effects. First, a fully empty bladder means you're far less likely to be woken up again an hour later. This means more consolidated, restorative sleep, which is vital for every aspect of our health. Second, it reduces that chronic nighttime pressure on the prostate, giving it a chance to rest and recover. Third, as a simple matter of hygiene, it reduces the likelihood of drips and splashes, which can cause skin irritation. I know this can be a hard habit to break. It feels foreign, but I challenge you to try it for 1 week. Make it a rule. After 9 p.m., you sit. See how you feel. Notice if you sleep longer. Pay attention to your urinary flow in the morning. This isn't about giving up your manhood. It's about embracing your wisdom. It's about making a strategic choice for your health and comfort. This is a cornerstone of a truly senior-wise journey, where we choose what works over what we've always done. So, there you have it. 3 simple, secret habits that could be undermining your health. The protective pause, avoiding strain, and sitting down at night. None of these require a prescription or an expensive gadget. They only require mindfulness and the willingness to change. Your health after 60 is not about grand, sweeping gestures. It's about the small, intelligent choices we make every single day. Your body has served you well for decades. Now it's time to serve it with wisdom. Join our Senior Wise Journey community. If this wisdom resonated with you, please like this video, share it with a friend who might need it, and subscribe for more insights on living your best life after 60.